This week on Stranded with $1 Million, tensions rise and lines are drawn. Stay tuned for episode 7.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, we running this. Let's go.
This week on Stranded with $1 Million. You all just love me so much. You want to watch me after the first 2 seconds.
Double time.
You're trying to watch me live, and oh my god, I can't even handle the love
Your
today.
biggest fan.
thought I turned it down.
So, I think this song's pretty accurate. Is this what you were feeling in your head?
That was an epic moment.
Was it an epic moment?
Life.
Well, we're gonna hear all about it tonight, and we're gonna hear about a lot more. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow me on all social media at Abigail Frere. We're joined by the lovely Makani again today. Tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me on social media at Makani Me on Twitter and IG.
And I'm Olivia Gabri. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, The Real OG.
Hey guys, it's Jesse D'Angelo. You can follow me everywhere at Jesse J. D'Angelo.
All right, guys, let's just jump right into it. We do have a big surprise for everyone tonight, so we want to make sure we have time for that as well. We're starting episode 7, 24 days in, $72K to each person. We are kind of at this point where Alex wants to be a double agent. Everyone's kind of trying to figure out this whole 2-on-2 situation, how it's going to go. And then the next move happens. And the next move is the shortest, both distance-wise and time-wise. 2.4 kilometers is about 1.5 miles. And you guys had 90 minutes to make it 1.5 miles. And that sounds like a long time for 1.5 miles. And I feel like everyone thought it was going to be a lot easier when they saw, like, the distance. And then you guys are hit with this huge, like, F you.
It's all water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're swimming. Like, I've never swam a mile. I can't imagine how long that would take me.
I know.
What was that like when you experienced those feelings from, oh, it's going to be easy to, oh, my God?
Yeah, I mean, you think initially when we got the mission and the map, like, sweet, we're just gonna skip over the next camp, no big deal. But then there's a part that was like a water ravine, basically. And there was just a lot of current in that water, plus with all the stuff we're carrying. So you're thinking about, I don't want to lose any of these items, because if the money falls in that water, it's gone. So there's a lot on your mind while you're trying to get through that.
What was the most difficult part physically of that challenge? Would you say the current or?
Yeah, the current was pretty strong. I mean, it showed, I think, that hardest part where it got really deep and, you know, Gina can't swim. There's a lot of factors.
That's a huge factor.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it wasn't
the
just, oh,
thing.
this is shitty. It's like, oh, this is shitty. And we have a person who
Could drown.
is not,
Right.
that's a very, like, huge thing to not be able to do when you're traveling in water the whole time. And, like, I can't imagine how she was feeling also. Like, you gotta feel, first of all, scared for yourself, but also a little uncomfortable knowing, like, shit, I am the weakest one just because I can't swim.
For that
Yeah.
reason alone.
Right.
Yeah.
For no other reason. I mean, the one thing that I did like about that point in the episode is that you all, like, really came together.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that we've seen everyone work fully together as a team. And my first thought is, like, okay, I can see these 4 actually becoming one group. And I really did you not think that in the beginning, that it was going to be, like, maybe a little bit more
I don't know.
melodic?
I think I
don't
knew
know.
better. But to what you said about Gina, it's like knowing that you're the weakest link is definitely a burden. And the fact that she has to thank everybody after she makes it to the other side of these challenges, there's something to be said about that.
Right.
Like, you're at this point in the game, I'm not sure if she deserves to be there. As much as I do like her as a person, she's just not a competitor in the right state for this game.
Right. She's definitely riding on Alex, and he wants to keep her around so he's not alone. And
Right,
she's
but
banking
then
on
it's
that.
like, it's a burden on Alex because
Yeah.
he has to carry her the entire way.
Right. So it's like, do you want to carry one ally or be the only one left against us?
And these are all
hard
straight
decision.
tactical decisions that are needing to be made. These are not emotional decisions. These are not like, how do I feel about this? This is like, what do I need to do to get to the end? What do I need to do to get this 100 $100,000 at this point? What do I need to do to get this money to come home? It's not like, oh, I don't want to hurt feelings. Like, there are no feelings at this point. There cannot be if you want to be at the end of something. But I also have to give it to Gina because I think, I mean, we'll see it more towards the end of the episode, but I think the harder things get, the more she surprises me. And I think she's one of those types of people that she does well under pressure. And not a lot of people do well under pressure, but she tends to be... I don't even know. I'm not sure if it's like, oh, if I don't have to put the effort in, like, why should I? Which is a great way to look at it. But also it's
Which is how Cody started the game too, remember?
Right.
For, that was his strategy. Like, I'm not going to waste my energy.
As the episode continued, we see her stepping up and being like, screw you guys, like, they think I'm gonna be out and I'm not gonna be out. And like, I was really not shocked because I feel like she wouldn't be on the show if there wasn't a reason, and they're not just gonna throw someone on the show for no reason. But I didn't see that reason until this episode.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they did with other cast members, but I agree. I think she impressed herself up until this point, and I think she gets the most improved or most growth award because she got better. I think the show brought one of the tougher sides out of her that she wouldn't have seen otherwise.
I know. I mean, sorry to cut you off. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt because if we go back to the first episode or two, we did not think that she would make it.
Heck no, we all thought she was gonna be like the first one out.
Everybody thought she'd be.
And the fact that she's in the final four, that's amazing. So good for you, Gina.
Props to you,
yeah, regardless
Gina.
of how much she did, she's in the final four, and you can't take that away from her.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say, now that she doesn't have the safety in numbers, this is where we're starting to see what she lets motivate her.
And you also see, too, just because we're on Gina as a topic right now, later when she's talking about her family and all those things, like, this has got to make her feel empowered in a way. Like, if she does feel like the odd one out, or she does feel like she doesn't fit in or whatever, this has got to make you feel like, okay, I am doing this. And that's got to pump you up more to even want to stay longer or want to push a little harder.
Why has she stayed up until this point if she leaves now? Yeah.
Right.
Really quick, I just want to say to everyone that is joining us live right now, please leave your comments in the chat. I'm doing my best to look at them. And if you have any questions for Makani, just put them in the chat and I'll do my best to field through them and try and get some of them on. So thank you guys for joining us. I do see you. They're like, they're ignoring the chat
eyes are open. And so everyone makes it to the next campsite. You end up having about 97K a person, which is a nice advance.
Yes.
See, the lower the number, the nicer the paycheck.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems to work that way. Then we see Alex try and formulate a scheme that doesn't really
his double agent
work
plan.
Right. So he comes to Cody and he's like, so take me on your temptation and I'll cut off Gina, which he knows Cody has been trying to get him to do for a long time. But at this point, Cody also knows anything coming from Alex is probably alternative facts. He's not someone, he's about to ally with. And
takes it with a big
he's not
going to
take out Gina because Gina's the only person he can easily manipulate. Gina's the only one who will do whatever Alex says whenever, no matter how, she's his little minion. So he's not going to take her out, but he'll act like it.
And I thought for a second Cody believed him for like a half second. I really did think, I didn't think he was going to take him to the temptation, but I think he was like, okay, maybe this 3-person thing could work. And then we quickly see that it's
it would
not.
be smart because that's money at the end split between 3 people rather than 4. But Alex isn't thinking like that.
But even to think, just in Cody's head, it's not that hard to eliminate Gina on
his own.
So it's like, you're not really doing me any favors, Alex. I could probably figure out a way to do this very quickly. So why gain another person that I have to carry when I could just do the job myself and make more money?
And I'm not going to bring you on the temptation when my loyalty is to Makani, because like you just said, Gina could easily get herself out another way, And
at this point, you just honestly, you just see Alex scrambling.
Yeah.
He's just losing his shit, scrambling every direction to try and pick something up. I mean, I feel like if he thinks he scrambles enough, something will stick. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot.
And
which is really nice to see. After the whole game, he's been on this high horse of spending money right and left and smiling and laughing about it, and we're thinking you're going crazy because you're spending your own money and you're acting like it's the most heroic thing in the world. And finally he's just he realizes he's kind of screwed. He's on the bottom now.
And that's the thing. If they were spending the money more wisely in the beginning, this wouldn't be as hard of a crash, because now that they don't have the numbers, it's, you know, this sort of shock, like, I don't get to have a pizza every 4 days. I'm being dead serious because but if they were buying things that could sustain them longer, like you guys were buying rice and carrots, then this wouldn't be as big of a shock. They wouldn't have the you know, you guys would beat them.
And their bodies honestly are probably going into shock as well, because it's just like, oh my God, all of a sudden, like, and not just shock from lack of food, but shock of lack of fats and lack of, I mean, I know when I cut sugar out of my diet, or if I cut dairy out, like, you're craving it.
You become a monster.
You know, you're an angry little demon. And so, not saying that they had large quantities of pizza, but they're now cutting carbs out. And
But that should have happened on day one.
Oh, 100%. But I'm saying
Forever.
they're facing now being out, you know, being
That should have
equally
happened
numbered.
a long time ago. But
Exactly.
you're right.
Someone controlling them and lack of carbs. Like, I would be a gremlin.
Me too, but at this point, when you look at it, it's 13 days left.
Right.
And I
Push
see
it.
that.
Push
yeah.
it.
It's like, if you're going to make it
It's 2
this
weeks,
far,
man. Come on.
just do the
Right.
whole damn
Right.
thing, will you?
Which do the whole damn. Which gets us to the group buy, the first group buy of
Right.
212.
Right. Finally.
I gotta say, this was really entertaining for me. This was funny. No peanut butter is not gonna happen.
Right.
Because you guys, how much peanut butter did you have at this time?
Well, they had bought, I mean, we were fine because we were rationing ours,
Right.
but they had bought, I can't even keep count, I think 4 jars for themselves already, and they go through them in a day or 2. And it's like, this is a huge...
They went through 4 jars in 2 days?
When the other 2 were there.
And how many jars did you have left at this time?
We had 1 for each of us at this point.
Oh,
And
still.
Yeah, and we were rationing
And-
them.
Okay.
And we were like, these are going to get us to day 40.
Right.
And the other 2, you can see they come into our tent and try to
He
take
was
from our
fisting the
jar.
peanut butter. Like, I'm no joke. Like, that, he was like...
Wait,
all
did
over
you
that.
did you
Like,
guys
yeah.
know that they stole from you until
That
this
time,
episode?
We didn't.
So were you shocked watching this?
Kind of, yeah. And I was a little bit disgusted.
Fingers all up in your
honestly.
shit.
Yeah.
It's like, we've been using sticks. Sticks is one thing,
But your grummy hands.
Yeah.
Going in, he's double dipping.
We
That was
knew
like-
that campfire.
I have no
but-
double dippers up in my PB.
No, double dipping up in here.
It's just kind of sad because he couldn't, ration for himself. So, and then you see that same instinct take over. Like, he can't stop himself from going crazy. Like, he's
Yeah.
acting like a rodent, and it's crazy to me.
And like you said,
I
if you
was
just
surprised
ration
to
it
see that.
properly, and even Robert Leland said in our chat, he goes, "I survived an entire semester of college on PB&J." Okay,
Right?
So
Like, it
it's
can
This is a
happen.
known thing. So for anyone who's saying like, "Oh, I would have bought the pizza too," it's like, we're not saying you can't buy food. We would have done the same
Just be
thing. It's
smart.
just be
Just buy
smart
smart
about
food.
it and have more money at the end.
So you're not starving for 3
PB,
days,
y'all.
going,
This is-
eating pizza and then going 3 days without food, and then
Right.
eating pizza and then going 3 days without food. Like, buy it so you can not go without food every day. So you don't have to know what it's like to starve.
And even after we shut it down and we're like, you know what, we don't care if Gina doesn't carry anything because she doesn't carry much anyway, we'll be fine. Even after that happens and they're like, crap, we're not going to get peanut butter. And then they're sitting on the beach afterward and Alex is like, you know what, at least we'll have 75 more hundred at the end.
That-
And that killed me. I swear to God, my spine just went like, ooh, like, that's
We were
what
like-
you've been saying the whole fucking time.
But we were like, exactly. That's
Oh
the
my
point of this
God.
challenge. That's
Oh
what
my
the
God.
that's what the show is.
The whole time.
But listen,
it's like, oh my God, light bulb went on. And you're literally repeating what people have been saying
But it's
the
so-
whole time.
Well,
It still didn't, though.
But they're acting like it's his idea. He's like, well, what? No, he literally said,
Very passionate.
wised up. It seems like they wised up. Are you? It seems like they wised up. No, it seems like they've been doing the same shit and you're just being controlled. So now you feel like something different's happening, but nothing different's happening other than you're being treated like a child with a parent who's telling you what
That's
you
the
can and
thing.
cannot eat.
Right. He commented on it, but I kind of feel like the light bulb didn't even go on because I fully expect the next episode for him and Gina to still be whining about pizza and peanut butter and forgetting and remembering after the fact that that's more money in their pocket because we're not going to let them.
And I have to say, at this point in the episode, my largest thought in my mind is that Alex is kind of just like this spineless weasel, because he says one thing, to Cody, and he's like, oh, you know, like, and we all know that he's trying to play Cody, whatever. He doesn't play Cody. Then it's like, oh, Gina, I mean, like, you're my ride or die. And then it's like, let's vote for peanut butter. And he's like, well, theoretically, like, if you're standing up for someone,
this is my thing.
if you're standing up for her, if she's your ride or die, then you say, yeah, I want peanut butter. And then it's a freaking tie at least. Not like, theoretically, it would be good to have peanut butter. Like, well, that's not an answer. That's not standing up for Gina. He did not do her a service there. Because if it was reversed and he wanted something, she would have been like, yes, that is what, yes, we're getting that. And she would have fought for it. He didn't even fight.
I agree. But this is the problem I had with it. So his whole tactic was to play double agent. But, and I don't know if they just didn't show it. Maybe someone can clear that up for us if any of them are watching or listening. But they never showed him telling Gina he was going to be playing double agent.
Yes, they did.
He said that to him. He was talking in the confessional or to himself, right?
No, he said it in the beginning.
To Gina that he was going to play double agent?
Yes. He explained it to her. Like, I'm going to make Cody think that we are going to vote you out.
Oh, yeah, and they were
and then,
like,
but like, you know, yeah, and then he's
like,
like, you know you're my girl, and then they went to the confession, he's like, she's my ride or die, I'm going to be a double agent. Like,
my bad.
No, that plan was very clear to all of them. He just couldn't execute it.
But then, okay, well then in that case, I don't think, I respectfully disagree with you. I don't think it was bad for him to say that, because if they both knew he was playing double agent, then he kind of still had to play to Cody a little bit.
But that was like, wasn't that after he already told him he's not coming to the temptation?
No. That was before, I think. Yeah, it was before.
But even if it was, though, I think him telling him that he couldn't come to the temptation, I think Alex understood that, because it wasn't him shooting down any chance of them working together.
Right, he was just taking away the temptation.
I still think as far as you have your groups, and like whether you're playing a double agent or not, like
when it comes down to it,
you're never gonna see you fake not stand up for Cody. Regardless of what you're saying to people,
the difference
when it comes down to food and stuff, it's just like he is not able to just stand up straight and be like, this is what I believe, or this is what needs to happen. And I think he would maybe get farther if he just grew a set and was like, no, rather than being like, well, let's talk about it and let's work as it, and and teamwork is great, and he's good at making that happen. So that is his strong suit. His weakness is that he is not able to manage authoritatively how Cody is, or even really to stand up to that.
But you have to remember, at this point, he's been nothing but cozy, and he was the group leader of his own team. He never really, he was kind of positive for the type of game that it was, because he had all these luxuries, whatever. But now he's seriously just scrambling and trying to grab at whatever he can grab at to survive.
Right.
And if that, if that means he has to be a weasel about it, then that's the only card he has to play.
But my thing is, like, what are you gaining out of that, knowing that they're only getting the backpack?
I mean, he's
what
not.
Are you gaining?
He's not, but
that was not thought through.
It was a better. I agree. I don't think it was thought through, but
you don't have to. No, you don't have to agree. I'm just saying my outlook.
That was the only way he could make an effort to still make it seem like he was going to be loyal to Cody. Like, yeah, I'm kind of hungry, but if you don't want it, like, I don't want it either.
Because like she said, he was kind of scrambling, just like, you're being dragged, you're grabbing it, and you think you can handle it.
I guess it's a personality flaw for me. I just like prefer loyalty, and I think maybe that's why it irks me so much.
Right, but it's at the end of the day,
and maybe it wouldn't have bothered me as much if his plan had worked. If the end result was different, maybe then I wouldn't be so bothered by by his
right. But I don't think that foursome was ever really about loyalty. They weren't. Yeah, they were loyal to each other because
his loyalty to Gina.
Right, but that was never loyalty. Was never a tactic or a value of theirs to begin with. It was always the value of yours because you guys depended on loyalty to survive because you chose not to
loyalty
spend.
Was I think each group
they were loyal to each other, but I think if they had a reason to kick someone out, they would kick someone out. They were loyal to each other because that made shit comfortable for them. Because being loyal to each other meant that they could win some pizza.
Yeah, but I think that's the first time you ever see one of them thinking about going against the other one, even if it's fake or whatever. Because that was real. That wasn't fake. That was real. He did not stand up for Gina, whether he was faking it or not. That was a real action that he performed to not get food for her.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think both Cody and Alex at different points in the game tried to play the card like, oh, I will pretend to be on your side to try and get things to happen. But ultimately, both attempts up to this point were pretty futile. And Gina and I just never, bothered to try and play that double agent game because up to this point, it hasn't worked.
Right.
It's just
I think everyone
efforts.
knows each other well enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hurry so we can get, we want to get this call in. Okay, so Alex lies about the water, to not share the water. Right. Now, I do have to say, I see where he's coming from doing this.
Lying about the water.
I feel like everyone at this point now, both sides, are taking things and not sharing. Whereas, like, in the end, you guys took the pot and you're not sharing with them. He's not sharing the water with you. So I think that's a expected thing to start happening. People are going to start hoarding what they have and not try to share with other people to get them out. How do you feel about that? Like, was that the first time that things were not shared? Like, how was that view for you as, like, being climactic or whatnot?
I mean, you can see it start to happen and snowball as time passes because obviously it happened with the tent before anything, and they were hoarding that and watching us be outside, and then it's happening with the water. They're trying to hide the water so that they can drink and we can't. And ultimately at the end of the show, Cody and I kind of lay it down and we're like, enough, we're gonna, if that's how you guys want to play and that's what you've done in the past, we're gonna make sure you don't get any of these resources and we'll get you guys out.
And once that happens, we then see Alex kind of
backtrack really fast.
Backtrack real quick.
Like, what do you mean? We never did that to you.
It kind of looks like a movie to me. It's kind of like when someone gets deceived in a movie and they're like, no, remember me? Like, I was your... And it's like, no.
Nope, sorry. It's a little too late.
And Cody kept saying what he was actually doing. He kept stating facts and Alex just kept saying, you're stupid.
Right.
Like, he didn't really have anything to say because he was caught. And he knows that, too, obviously. I mean...
Yeah.
Were you nervous sitting on the pot? Like executing the
oh no,
the swoop.
I mean, it was definitely a climactic moment because Cody and I had talked it out, and we're like, okay, so this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna we set it up. He's gonna come over here, and we're gonna be talking and helping, and I'm sitting on the pot, so I have that. And then, he has the flint, and we have all these different items, and all of a sudden we're like, we're cutting you cold turkey, and checkpoint, basically.
And again, I just want to say, like, all of this back and forth, and I was saying this on another after show too, that this kind of parallels with, but I was saying, two wrongs don't make a right, all that stuff, but if you cut out all the back and forth, again, not to beat a dead horse, for lack of a better awful phrase.
Or kick the stray dog.
For lack of kicking a stray dog, they started this whole thing by not allowing you in the tent. I hate to keep saying that, but anytime someone tries to sympathize with them, and that's fine, they're entitled to that opinion, but and say,
when you go down the history of your browser, it starts with not sharing the tent.
That's the first thing that set this off. And you even alluded to it, or you just said it in the end. You said, we're playing your game.
Right, and that's the thing. When they had
didn't start off playing that game. Yeah.
Right, when they had 4, they didn't mind that we're trying to play that way, but and I said at that camp too, I said, if you don't want to play this game, you shouldn't have started it, because they started it and we're finishing it, and they don't
people
like that.
Right, and that's the bottom line, is they don't like what's going on.
Right.
They don't like
obviously,
of course they don't. I wouldn't like it either.
They're on the other end.
I mean,
of it.
we're playing their game better.
Exactly.
Than they
and
are.
it's like, do you not like what's going on? No, but you also don't like being beat at the game.
Because if they were doing it, they'd be happy about it, but they're
and
not.
then we see Gina, like, she thinks, like, she's so positive at the end of this. She's like, yeah, we're gonna be a team. We're gonna be nice. I'm gonna work with them because I want my peanut butter.
Honestly.
And then it's like Cody just made sure that dream was short-lived as hell. Like, he was just like, nope.
Yeah.
You get nothing. Speaking of Cody.
Oh, right.
We have a call-in. So why he is calling in, let's just go over your guys' temptation.
I think it's ringing now.
Is it?
Okay,
Perfect.
he's calling him now.
Right.
Okay, just let us know what's good.
So this temptation, you guys spent
everyone in the chat said,
$15,000.
what is the temptation? Ask about it.
And it was a boat, a yacht, like a large
so nice.
boat and some wine. We saw you. What
Champagne.
Cody was wrecked. He was slurring his words.
That's an exaggeration, but we enjoyed a yacht picnic.
Think about it.
There was
There's
champagne.
Hey, Cody.
608.
No.
No?
I got Cody's answering machine.
Let's leave him a message.
Cody.
What up, Cody? No. So now I'm gonna give you a little grief for a second here. Little miss, we're not gonna get some peanut butter, but we're gonna spend $15,000 on the boat.
Sure.
Was that a tactic? Was that a larger FU to everyone to continue?
I think it
continue
was both.
degrading their mindset so that they will, become weaker to leave? Is that what that was, or what was your thought?
It was definitely both. I mean, also, if you think about it, at the group buy, they were asking us to get them peanut butter. We had rationed our peanut butter. We still had peanut butter. We still had rice. We still had carrots, as a matter of fact. So we had supplies that we had saved. And at this point,
Cody, if you're watching, pick up the damn phone.
We're trying to connect to you.
So make me be a stalker.
So at this point, we're getting things for ourselves. At the group buy, they were asking for supplies and food for them.
Okay.
So now we're able to get things for us to put ourselves in a higher position. Obviously, that they've done that in other points throughout the game, and it was like a overnight picnic on a catamaran. It was one of the top moments out there for me, period.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in any situation, regardless of whether you're stranded on an island, that's a pretty dope thing to do. So I have no regrets about going for that one.
I think that was the best one.
It was the best.
I mean, I think it's the best. Yeah, it's like,
if I was gonna take the $15,000 one,
I think that got you more
And also,
than anything else. I mean, you're wondering what part of that.
also, while we're out there and they're imagining, okay, obviously they took it, they're gone for a long time, and they're imagining how great this temptation must be for us. They're sitting on the beach, on the island, crying, like wallowing, thinking about going. So I'm hoping, obviously, we're going to take it, and hopefully, we stay out on this boat, and when we come back in the morning, hopefully they've given up. Because
maybe it broke one of them.
Because in hindsight, from past camps where other people will go out on temptations, it sucks to be left there and imagining these other people eating and doing some things that you would love to be doing, and that's a low place to be in. So we put them in that place and put ourselves on higher ground all at once.
So
if you thought of it as like an investment, it's like you spend $15,000 and then you're hoping that one of them leaves, which gives you their sum to then split.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I was
and
thinking
regardless, it
you
puts us
turned
up.
down the peanut butter, so that already pays for half of
Right.
your
There
trip.
you go.
You know
It's
what
like,
I'm saying?
listen,
Down
we're gonna
payment.
sacrifice
Yeah,
your peanut
it's
butter for half
like-
of our boat trip.
Yeah, exactly. So then you feel less guilty about paying for
Get
the
you guys
rest
a
of it.
babysitter. It's all good.
But yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
You and Cody were like, so let me get this straight. You guys were on a boat in the middle of the ocean, drinking
dope.
champagne, like getting
We were plotting.
cozy. That's all you were
mean-
doing was plotting all night?
Yeah. We were talking about the game.
Talking strategy.
About how to get to day 40. He has a girl back at home, and he talked about her nonstop. So they
Oh,
don't
really?
really show that. But that was honestly the most endearing thing about Cody to me, was just the way he talked about his girlfriend.
Oh, that's cute.
So, yeah, I mean, other than that, he got on my nerves a lot. He was kind of arrogant.
Okay, so when we're
And
on this
whatnot.
point, because
But-
they don't show a lot of that. Biggest
They
bicker
don't.
between you two.
Oh, between I mean, just the fact
Was there
that yeah, there were because we're so different from each other, and I mean the elections were going on at this time, and he's super all-in Trump fan. I'm Bernie Sanders, so there's that. He's just this macho, arrogant male that doesn't really have a filter. So he would say plenty of things that were just not really acceptable from my point of view, and I would call him out.
See, and I
half the
think that's
time.
important for fans to know too, because I think the perception, obviously, that MTV is putting out there is very much this team versus this team, and it's like this harmonious relationship, and it's like, was it harmonious, or was the harmony because of the end result?
I mean, I think, it was, which is pretty amazing considering how different we are. And I think that's part of what was really cool about it is these two totally different people from totally different walks of life. We, realized that we're the only other real ones out there. And
Can you text him?
Yeah. Because, it would be good to have him weigh in on this part.
Yeah. And I think I appreciate that insight because I do think that, the power of editing, as we've always liked to talk about, is very one-sided. Why don't we get into predictions while we're waiting to get Cody on? Next week looks ratchet.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Tell him he can search AfterBuzz on Skype.
We forgot about the challenge.
Tell him we're trying to call him on Skype.
We forgot about the challenge with the boxes.
Oh yeah,
No.
water
We're trying to call him. That's what it is.
Okay.
So, money's burning.
No, the little challenge with the boxes. We skipped over that.
Oh, we did. You're right. Okay, so you guys picked up $45K with Gina not being able to swim, which again, there's moments where I'm really happy when you guys are all working together, and it creates this nice harmony and kind of a break in all the tension, and I think that's important for viewers to get a break. I think it's also nice because there are two very hard sides on the show of supporters for one team or supporters for another team, and I think that this is a nice thing to show that, like, everyone can calm down. It's a TV show. Like, it's for entertainment, and you all can work together, and it isn't that...
And I think one of the reasons why they threw that in there is because I don't think at the beginning of this show any of the producers would have anticipated that much money being wasted throughout the show. So they're kind of throwing us a bone, like, well, we didn't think they would buy that many pizzas, but now that they can't anymore, here's an opportunity to earn some of that back, so you actually have something to work for.
Do you think they felt bad for you guys?
In a way, I mean, it seems like they definitely pitied Alex and Gina because...
The producers did?
Yeah.
They
there
probably
we
get
go.
like taxed over
what's
leftover
up?
money and how to get rid of it.
Cody Thrive.
Yeah, hey, can we turn the volume up?
This is video, right?
Yeah, how's it
Be
going?
on Instagram Live.
Oh, you want to?
I'm telling my whole army of Thrive
Cody
Nation
Thrives in
to
the
watch
house.
this on YouTube when it goes up.
Wait.
Thank
We've
you,
been trying
Cody.
to get connected, and I'm so freaking happy that we did.
We're
Yay,
so pumped
we
to
love your
have you.
hat. Okay, so
Thanks.
we are on a time crunch, so let's get down to it.
right.
What are some things that you want to make clear that were not shown on the show, or to kind of get your side of things out there that maybe hasn't been portrayed?
Oh gosh, man. I guess really the edit, it shows a lot of Alex being strategic, and when you look at his strategy, what we see when we watch the episode, it doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Like, he should want to take Gina out because it would lead to him getting more money and taking money home. He shouldn't need extra motivation, my temptation, to want to take Gina out. So it doesn't make sense there. And it doesn't show me being strategic at all. It just shows Alex being strategic. And then also when Gina brings up, she says, I won't carry anything. Kind of using her ability to carry stuff on journeys as leverage. Throughout this entire game, me and Makani have been using that as our leverage because Makani and I are the two strongest when it comes to carrying the most weight on journeys. And we would use that as leverage, and we would be specific. Like, I would say, Makani will carry the flare case next journey if you buy us white rice and carrots. And if you don't, then she'll only carry this. And they never really showed that side of things. And I wish
Because
they
you know
did.
what? That's a good point. Because I was going to ask her, did they ever tell you, no, you can't order things? So you only got to order things because of work you did.
Exactly. So
Okay.
when you break down Stranded, you have to look at everyone's individual game and their strengths and weaknesses. And it's interesting because Makani and me, both of our abilities to carry heavy weights, we actually could use that to our advantage. Whereas if you look at any of the 4 campers, none of them could really carry a lot of weight, so they couldn't use that to their advantage. And had they been able to carry a ton of weight, they could have just said, well, fuck you guys, don't carry anything, we're not buying you any food. but they really needed us to carry their money so that they could then spend it. And then now that we're in control, we can carry our weight. And if our goal is to get both Alex and Gina out, we're going to have to eventually anyways, right? So we might as well start doing it now. And it doesn't really affect me if you don't want to carry anything, because I don't want you to be here. So
yeah, right.
And you have that huge backpack now, so you're fine.
I'll carry some extra weight if you just leave.
Right.
yeah. And
Bye.
yeah.
Next question. I know that you are getting a lot of backlash on social media for your character's portrayal. Is there anything you'd like to clear up on that end? Do you feel like you were portrayed poorly? Is that a perfect portrayal of you? What, give us some insight there.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny. I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of AfterBuzz. I'm like a super fan to the fucking max when it comes to reality competition TV. And I've never seen, I study fan reaction too, because I always knew I wanted to go on TV, right? So I studied how people react to different things on Twitter. And I've never seen it more lopsided than it is on Stranded. And it's just awesome because Team Makani, it's like 98% people love us, and then the other people are just like the campers family. So I just want to thank to all the fans.
That dig! Oh my.
And
That's true, though.
Seriously, I'm being completely honest. And what's funny is if you look at the edit and if you really like rewatch the episodes, which I know not everyone does, but since I'm on the show, I watch all the episodes, kind of study what, and you kind of see what the people who produced the show wanted it to look like. You can tell that like when Alex says he's America's heroes, like he believed that shit like 100%. And it's just funny to watch everything, but just understand that Alex could, if you think Alex and the campers look bad, they could have looked a hell of a lot worse. And when you watch reality TV, believe half of what you hear, or believe none of what you hear and half of what you see is the saying. And watch closely on the challenges and in the journeys, because that's when you can't fake it. Watch how I treat Gina versus how Alex treats Gina. You can say whatever you want in interviews, but when it comes down to actions, you just can't fake that.
Cody, snowballing off what you just said, someone in our chat said, can you guys please bring up when they were doing that last minute challenge, how Alex always said that Gina's his ride or die, but why was Cody the only one making sure she was getting through that the whole way?
Yeah.
That was Kenna.
Yeah, so it's shocking. The first time I saw the episode, it was shocking to see that. I was surprised because Alex and Gina were not ever close, and I think that, I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me either, so I don't really have a reason. All I know is I can say, whenever I'm doing a diary cam interview, I can say whatever I want, and I could say, I could be worst enemies with someone, and I could say, me and Alonzo, we're best friends, so you can say whatever you want in interviews, but when it comes down to the journeys and helping people physically when they're about to drown, just watch that. Just study our actions and be a little hesitant to believe those words, I guess.
Because that's when you see the true character of people.
Yeah.
So, but before we just kind of wrap it up, I want to bring up, we saw a preview for next week's episode when
what the hell?
The other team was running out the money. I want to know, can you guys speak to that, or do you have anything to say before we actually get to see the whole scene?
I would like to see how that is portrayed and shown next episode.
Yeah.
I would like to see how that's justified, because that's not really justifiable. If they're burning and ripping money, then why is there any reason? Have they given up at that point? What's the next?
It's hard to talk about.
Yeah,
So are we saying we might need to schedule a second phone date?
I would like to hear their
definitely need to
explanation
see
of. There's no explanation for that.
So we'll have to make that happen, because this is getting good. This is getting challenge worthy. This is getting like. It's not so soft anymore. It's not a soft show. It just went from 0 to 100 really quick.
And
in
next
this
episode, they basically lose it. They basically go crazy.
And
So,
lastly,
I got one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Alex is a control freak, as we've seen, and he's not in control anymore. And what control freaks do when they're not in control, they get desperate.
Right.
And that's just his way of being in control of something. If he's
Right.
not in control of the group eyes, he's going to take control however he can, even if it means shooting himself in the foot and earning the money, the prize that has potential to change his life and everyone in his circle, you know, his friends and family's life too. So it's a shame. It's disappointing. And like Makani said, it really doesn't make a lot of sense unless you're going to destroy all the money you can and then quit, which is what we realized they were doing. So it'll be interesting to see how that is portrayed, because that's another thing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Oh my God.
I didn't even think of that.
Okay, so lastly, before we have to exit out of here, what are you doing now? What can we find you? What projects are you working on? What's the next step?
We're campaigning.
How has this changed your life? I mean, I know we're not at the end of it yet, but can you give us some insight on that?
Makani, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, obviously they're casting us for the challenge, so that's a possible next step for Cody or I. Fans want to see both of us, which
Everyone.
would be exciting because you can see that we are very strong out there and we do well in the challenges.
Can I insert myself real quick?
Yeah,
I would love to see, because you guys are the top dogs on this show,
Right.
and it's very clear, and there's no
Right.
question about it. I would love to see you guys thrown into competition with like-minded
Right, with
individuals, because
other
that is when stuff
competitive
is going
strong
to
people.
get insane. And I feel like then you can even, I know you guys have more beast in you that you have not let out because you really don't need to in this
Because we don't
circumstance.
have the same
But
level
I would
of
love to see you guys push face to
Yeah.
face to someone
That's
like
what
yourself.
Stranded
Yeah.
All-Stars is for, though.
Right? A few seasons down the road.
Right.
You're the CT of
Yeah, right.
Stranded.
Yeah. No, but exactly. I hope that as this show goes on, they get more hardcore people on there and just more true survivalists that are actually going to try to do it the real, the hardcore way.
Right.
And do it justice.
Cody, how about you?
It hasn't changed my life at all. I'm doing the same old stuff. It's exciting to watch myself on TV. It's a dream come true. I'm a big super fan of all these reality competition shows. And hopefully it'll be something I can continue to do. Hopefully it'll turn into a big thing. But right now I'm just working on my degree, serving in the Texas Army National Guard still. And man, hopefully I can do another show. That's the goal, or just get in front of people where I can entertain them more, because I love it, man. I feel like I was made to do this, and it's just been a lot of fun.
You guys are both so entertaining,
Yeah.
so I doubt this is the last show you guys will ever
It's
do.
a building
I
block
can
for sure.
guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Follow me at Cody Thrive.
That was my next thing. Thank you, sir. Take it away. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Cody, thank you so much for Skyping in. We will talk to you behind the scenes after to hopefully set something else up. We appreciate it. We know it's late in Texas.
Say hi
Makani.
to Autumn and the family for
Yes.
me.
Autumn in the house.
His girlfriend is the best.
I know that's so cute when they're sitting there on the bed.
Yeah, low key we text.
Such a good
and tweet
support
each
system.
other.
Love it. Thank
Adorable.
you guys for watching. Please, I know I don't have to tell you twice to leave comments below on how you feel about everything. And you can follow me on all social media at Abigail Frere. Makani?
Makani Nalu. You can follow me at Makani Me on all social media as well.
And you guys can hit me up at @real_O_G.
You guys can follow me everywhere at Jesse J. D'Angelo, and thank you everyone for being in our live chat with us tonight. Great to have you.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Fingers.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.